Bender's single tear could trigger a tsunami. A coin he casually tossed flattened a row of houses instantly. To help the tiny people living on his body, Bender decided to wholeheartedly assist them. At that moment, the village chief requested that he provide some sunlight for the fields. Upon hearing this, Bender directly opened his reflector mirror, but because the concentrated sunlight was too intense, he accidentally set the crops on fire. To put out the fire, Bender blew away the villagers with a single breath. Bender always ended up causing more harm than good, so he decided not to interfere in the tiny people's affairs anymore. As time passed, the village chief came to him again. It turned out that the terrorists on Bender's back, having been ignored by him for too long, had stopped believing in Bender, and were even planning to attack the tiny nation. But this time, Bender had no intention of intervening, and told the chief to solve the problem himself. After some time, Bender thought that even without him, the tiny nation could thrive. But suddenly, the terrorists launched an attack. However, the chief had already devised a countermeasure. The cannons they had built began to retaliate, and a war instantly erupted on Bender's body. As bombs continued to explode, the entire civilization of the tiny nation was ultimately destroyed. Bender was deeply saddened by what he saw. Unknowingly, he drifted to the deepest part of the universe. Suddenly, he was drawn to a bright light before him. A nebula was communicating with him in binary language. It turned out that this entity was the god of this universe. This gave Bender someone to pour out his troubles to. Meanwhile, to search for Bender in space, Fry and Leela went to the super telescope in Antarctica. However, the monks there had no intention of helping the two find Bender.
Your order may be famous for your martial arts, but I've never met a holy man I couldn't club.
Actually, we only practice martial arts as a form of meditation.
Eventually, under Leela's threat, the monks were locked up, and Fry began using the super telescope to search for Bender. But after 3 days, he still hadn't found him. Finally, persuaded by Leela, Fry decided to give up. But before leaving, his wish was transmitted into space through the super telescope. Upon hearing it, the god immediately gave Bender a descent, then grabbed him and threw him back toward Earth.